What's going on, y'all? Thank you for coming to my channel. My name is Wally, and you are now tuned into PBH TV.
Hey, this the king of melodies beat.
Yo, we back with some more Joe Rogan as he sits down with your boy Andrew Huberman. Yo, if y'all don't know about Huberman, make sure you follow him, especially if you're into fitness, alright? Homie know a lot. He's a neuroscientist. Make sure you check him out. Right now, they're about to explain why scientists used to hang around Jeffrey Epstein. We already know Epstein, Epstein's Island. Yeah, the wild boy. So sit back and react with your boy. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe to the channel. And if you want to support the channel any further, make sure you go ahead and join that Patreon where you can see exclusive videos and you don't even have to wait for it to drop. You understand what I mean? You see all of them in real time whenever you want at your leisure. And you can go ahead and buy your boy a coffee. So let's go. Let me go ahead and press play. Stop wasting your time.
I guess this is an opportunity to bring up Jeff Epstein. So, people sometimes wonder, like we're scientists, hanging out with him to get with these young women or something. I know scientists. There are some scientists like that. They were spending time with him because he was giving their laboratories money that they didn't have to write grants for.
Why was he doing that, though?
Oh, there are very strong opinions. I never met him. I know people who knew him.
Yeah, I'm curious to know what the answer is going to be. Let me know if you think whatever he's about to answer, if you knew that was going to be the answer. Why do you think scientists really wanted to hang around Epstein? All right, put it in the comments.
But he clearly understood social engineering. He understood that rich people they can get anything they want, except the one thing they can't easily control is their reputation, because that requires other people's perceptions. And just being rich doesn't make you necessarily respected. By certain people, yes, by certain people, no. So he understood that very wealthy people feel more important and can derive more sense of self-respect when they're surrounded by brilliant people. And he was very good at bringing truly brilliant people into that mix. People like Murray Gell-Mann, who discovered the quark, right?
I see what he getting at with this right here. So basically, Epstein is the type of guy that he knows a lot of people. He's well connected. He's like a plug. You understand me? And being that he's around a lot of great minds alike, right? Well, sort of alike, if you get my drift. Well, being that he put a lot of people together in a room, he could fill up a room full of brilliant people. That's the best time for a neuroscientist to go ahead and start doing their little tests. This is the best time for them to figure anything they're trying to figure out when it comes to the human brain. You understand me? Especially from a bunch of brilliant people. That's easy. That's like easy homework for them. You get this one guy who knows everyone. You don't have to go to different countries and look for these people. You got this one who's famous plug and he knows everyone. He can bring them together. Now you can go ahead and run your tests and do your diagnosis. You understand what I mean? Come with results, studies, tests, etc. You get me?
Ideas of a particle physicist. Head of the Santa Fe Institute, Nobel Prize. Gell-Mann used to pick on Richard Feynman. He was one of the few people who could maybe not verbally joust with him, but at a scientific level could pin that guy. So they were on more or less equal tier, but Gell-Mann was right up there. So Epstein understood, bring around the Gell-Manns, bring around the top genetic researchers from Harvard. By doing that, he made these rich people feel like they were in the company of interesting, important people.
Interesting.
And why would scientists spend time with rich people? I'll be really honest. I do a lot of work for these days for talking about science and trying to generate science philanthropy. That's a big part of my life now, trying to generate money to give to studies that are really interesting and valid. We could talk about that if you like. Scientists will show up to dinners that normally they'd rather be in their labs or writing grants or with their families, frankly, if there's the possibility of money being given to their laboratory, because then they can hire more people and do more science. Money alone doesn't drive good science, but the more money you have, the bigger margin of error you have. So if Epstein offered laboratories, $1 million a year for 4 years, to a guy of that wealth, that's trivial. To a laboratory, that is 4 National Institutes of Health grants per year. And the workload to maintain those 4 grants is immense. So they'd show up with the possibility of getting money. That's where they were hanging out with a dirtbag like him. And they had blinders on. Either they knew or they didn't know what he was up to, but they had blinders on because they weren't thinking about the implications.
Well, it's also one of the things about some.
So now so now I ask you this. Is it okay that they put their blinders up? Huh? Or were they doing something strange for a piece of change? You let me know.
Something like that must be that if you go there and you see Steven Pinker and you see Lawrence Krauss and you see Bill Gates, it seems like you should be there. It seems fine to be there.
Also on, sinister, diabolical, narcissistic, and sociopathic, but brilliant social engineering on the part of Epstein.
Yes.
He understood that they felt comfortable in the room because of who else was there.
Yeah.
Rich people will show up to a place for who's not there, as we know. They like to have space, right? And scientists generally don't like to hobnob. It's not really their thing. What they like to do is work on their pet projects. They're a little bit like comedians. They're in the sense that they have a craft they want to be working on. They're only going to do things like go out and get money if they have to get money, and they do a lot to get money.
Well, I'm sure there's a social aspect of it. And
Sure.
hanging around with other brilliant scientists at a wonderful place. You have good food and drink, and there's pretty girls around.
Yeah, but
it's probably exciting.
it's probably exciting, although I think that at some level, real scientists, dyed-in-the-wool scientists, would rather just be doing science and living
I'm
their
sure.
lives.
I mean, I'm sure that's what you would be doing, but you can't speak for them other scientists, huh? Joe Rogan keep poking at that.
I mean, this is a very rare occasion. I'm sure
Yeah.
that they're doing this.
So he
But
had the
there's
whole thing, the Harvard shirt.
Yeah.
I mean, he kind of
Yes.
he ingratiated himself in this community. He just understood. It was sort of like I do some work with some professional sports teams, right? And the only people that they look up to are tier 1 special operators. You tell a pro NBA player, like, oh, in the NFL they do this, they're like, whatever. You tell them that, this will increase your output by 10%, they're like, whatever. They don't care. They want to play video games. They do not care. They want to hang out with their girlfriend or their 4 girlfriends, whatever it is. You tell them tier 1 operators who do high risk, high consequence work and are on deployment schedules that would dissolve you into a puddle of your own tears because it's a vampire schedule. You don't get to sleep when you want to, and you potentially die. You potentially all die, and their running times are faster. Their recovery times are faster. Their shooting accuracy is far better than your shooting accuracy, and that's with a gun and getting shot at. And they go, okay, I'll listen. They look up to tier 1 operators. That's a fact. And so if you want them to listen, you understand that fact. You look at what tier 1 operators are doing. That's what professional sports teams are trying to glean that information. Billionaires, they have different interests, obviously. Some race yachts, some want to start new projects, but they want to be around really innovative, interesting people. And in academia, there are a very small subset of those running big laboratories, and Epstein just got that down to the detail. And then he understood, I think, with politicians, their reputations are everything, and so he gave them a vaulted world where they could behave how they wanted. I mean, in some sense, his story is one of multiple psychologies, not just his.
Yeah, that's why people that have studied him and the whole case believe that, and from other evidence and information as well, that he was part of some sort of an intelligence operation and they was compromising these people.
Yeah, learning all these different multiple personalities, manipulation at his best, baby.
I'm sure that at some point he had information on other people and he just used it as a and it doesn't have to be stronghand blackmail, right? He could just say, we've got information, we'll hold it secure.
Well, you don't even have to blackmail someone. If you know they have information on you and they have not used it, you will act in their best interest to try to get them on your good side.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, in the unraveling of all the dark, sordid shit around Weinstein, it was discovered, I think, in New York, like near that avenue, down in Alphabet City Police Precinct. It turns out that there were, a boatload of files that date back ages. And, it's not that cops are corrupt, it's that they're incentivized by certain things too. And their bosses were telling them, you got to do certain things, you got to put away certain files. And, people are trying to make careers. I think that's why that show, it's a little outdated now, but from technology standpoint, but The Wire was so brilliant is that every aspect of that was a human endeavor. And science is a human endeavor. And we're kind of paying attention to the darker, unfortunate side. They're also, I always feel like I got to shine light where it belongs to, which is that a lot of amazing science is happening because of excellent philanthropy of people that are not pedophiles.
Yes,
right.
Of course.
And those people
recently, they don't got a good track record if you've been paying attention and been looking at what's going on around you. You get me? If you open your eyes recently, the track record, not so nice, baby, not so nice.
But let's be honest, walk onto any university campus look at the names on the sides of the buildings. Do you think they're there to honor those people because those were great people?
Nope.
Sometimes they're great people. They're there because those people donated $50 to $100 million.
Right.
I mean, and this has been known in law schools and business schools for a long time because you'd see it on this. That was kind of more accepted there because it's business and law.
Right, right.
But if you walk onto any campus, I don't care if it's UT Austin or it's Stanford or it's Harvard, the names on those sides of buildings, sometimes it's the Kennedy building, sometimes it's the Rockefeller building. More often than not, these are names of people you don't recognize anymore, and names of people who don't even live in the United States. They gave $100 million for a building that trains medical students. Universities are a business too, 100%.
Facts.
And it doesn't mean that they're trying to corrupt anybody, but
it's a big business. So anybody watching this, if you're in college, make sure whatever course you're taking is going to be useful in today's society, baby. Don't be out here paying for a dead-end course.
they have to survive. You got to pay the janitor.
Yeah.
You got to pay the cops you get on the campus. I mean, so it is a business. And I think the human side, actually, to your credit, I learned from you. I think you may or may not remember, but a few years ago we were talking about everything that was going on in the public health thing. And you're like, the reason I'm curious about this, and I don't trust this, these were your words more or less, was because I know about people. And that's, at the end of the day, it's all about people and their psychology.
Well, that...
Told you, they're trying to learn people, different multiple personalities, and who else but the rich to try this out with? You get what I mean, baby? So with that being said, hey, make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe to the channel, and definitely hit the notification bell. I will see you guys in the next one. Love.